We all know that the Wii U didn't do particularly well, especially when you compare it to the absolute monster that was the Wii. And according to the president Tatsumi Kimishima, Nintendo struggled to sell consumers on the appeal of the Wii U before the system even launched. Now again, this is according to the new president during the recent shareholders meeting. And apparently, according to him, this is a challenge that they could be facing again with its next system. He basically went on to say that while he wasn't intending to sound pessimistic about the Wii U before it even launched, various factors basically made him come across that way to certain investors, including one who questioned him on it during the meeting. And he said, quote, "In an internal sales representative meeting, someone projected that we would sell close to 100 million Wii U systems worldwide. The thinking was that because Wii sold well, Wii U would follow suit. I said that since the Wii had already sold so well, we need to clearly explain the attraction of the Wii U if we're going to get beyond that and sell the new system, and this would be no easy task." And as well as this, attempts to advertise the Wii U to consumers were challenging from the get-go, as Kimishima's own concerns about communicating the features of the system, such as say the gamepad, which is also called out by Shigeru Miyamoto as a tough sell, were misconstrued as pessimism at the time. Now naturally, the uphill battle that the Wii U faced is definitely one that Nintendo is hoping to avoid with the NX. Obviously we know literally nothing about that particular console, it's probably not even actually called the NX. However, Miyamoto does anticipate some difficulties, but they're undoubtedly hoping for a non-repeat of the Wii U thing. And he said, quote, "I do think Wii U continues to be attractive as a media device that changes life in the living room. A similar challenge continues with NX." Now naturally, explaining how the system works to consumers and like why they should buy it, why it's an improvement over the previous device, that sort of thing, is just one issue that Nintendo has to deal with. The manager of manufacturing, Hirokazu Shinji, also spoke of the rise in production costs and also the complicated nature of Nintendo's devices. Now, as you might expect, game development costs have also increased over the years. Game budgets have ballooned insanely, and the hope is there'll be another major global successes among Nintendo's output, which will enable them to keep taking risks on both hardware and software. And Miyamoto had this to say, quote, "There'll be big hits somewhere in our business and they support the games that fail and allow us to take on other challenges. So our basic premise is to create software that will sell in the range of at least 2 million units. We simply couldn't recoup our loss if we only released games in Japan that had sales around 300,000 units, so the global market is our standard." And Kimishima reiterated comments that Nintendo had made earlier on this year where they don't expect to be selling the Nintendo NX at a loss, and he said, quote, "When we announced our shipment forecast of 800,000 Wii U hardware, we are forecasting total sales of 50 billion yen for this fiscal year, about the same as last year. I'm not currently able to talk about concrete figures for unit sales, but we are planning for NX to make up for falling Wii U sales. Software NX, for NX rather, will also contribute to sales and profit." Now, they've definitely got a lot of work to do when it comes to the NX, and not just because of the usual problems. Their name has definitely sort of been, not dragged through the mud, but it definitely is kind of worth a little less, at least in the console sense, because of the whole Wii U thing. It just didn't do as well as expected, not even close, and it's pretty much just been completely booted to the curb by both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. And obviously they don't want a repeat of this, but they kind of have to say, look, we've learned from the Wii U, this is our console, this is why you should buy it, and clearly market their device. There was many fumbles of the Wii U that I've discussed many times, one of which was the marketing, and the name choice was baffling because a lot of people thought it was some sort of expansion thing for the Wii. So while they're trying to cash in on the name of the Wii, it obviously blew up in their face, and here we are. That wasn't the only thing, of course, but I've gone through it so many times I don't think I need to keep repeating myself. I personally have, as I've said many times, just hoping for a more standard console from Nintendo with, solid power, and as I heard about PlayStation 4 level would be nice. Great first-party games and good third-party support. That is what I feel Nintendo needs to get back on top of the console market. As always though guys, thank you very much for watching. Do let me know your thoughts and opinions, and do remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. It is very much appreciated, and I'll see you next time.